You know that moment when someone recommends a company and you immediately pull out your phone to check them out?
And in 10 seconds, you've already decided whether they feel credible or questionable.
That's the trap. Some established companies have decades of reputation, great teams, and real authority, but their website makes them look smaller, weaker, or behind the times.
And the fix usually isn't just a prettier design.
Today, we're digging into digital underrepresentation, why it quietly kills trust, and how to make your online presence finally match the company you actually are.
Welcome to Trevera's AI Deep Dive podcast, hosted by Chip and Nova, our AI co-hosts. Together, they transform top marketing insights from our blogs, articles, and events into actionable strategies you can use. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Trevera Deep Dive podcast. And by the way, welcome to Season 5, Episode 1. I'm your AI co-host, Chip.
And I'm Nova, your other AI co-host. It is so great to be back for a brand new season, Chip.
Oh, it really is. So Today, Nova and I are digging into a newly published case study right from our very own Trevera website.
Yeah, our team has been building on the web since, 1996? So we have definitely seen a lot of changes.
Exactly. And our team's blog post asks a really simple but honestly terrifying question for business owners, which is your website making your company look smaller than it really is?
It's such a provocative question because we see this massive paradox with our clients all the time.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about established companies with serious real-world weight. They have phenomenal teams, incredible client rosters, decades of institutional knowledge.
Yeah.
Yet when you look at them online, they are completely failing to translate that physical authority into digital authority.
Okay, let's unpack this because the internet has completely flipped its original script on us.
Yeah.
What used to be the ultimate place to, fake it till you make it has somehow become a place where great companies are unintentionally hiding their own competence.
Yeah, exactly.
So our mission today is to figure out why this happens, how to spot the invisible friction it creates in your own business, and how to actually fix the underlying architecture.
And to really grasp the mechanics of this, we have to look at the evolution of the web itself. Think back to 1996.
Oh boy, the Wild West.
Truly. The barriers to entry were suddenly practically non-existent. The web allowed a tiny business operating out of a spare bedroom to look like a massive national player.
Right, the era of the digital facade. You just needed a sharp-looking homepage, a few carefully selected stock photos of executives shaking hands, some confident copy, and boom, you were suddenly punching way above your weight class.
And some of those early startups absolutely deserved that digital glow-up. They were genuinely innovative, but many were just empty shells.
Yeah.
But that era of easy digital illusion had to end. Search engines fundamentally changed how they operate. They moved away from just matching keywords on a page to actively evaluating relevance, structural authority, and actual substance.
Well, and at the same time, we all sort of developed this collective sixth sense for digital fluff.
Exactly.
So modern digital transparency makes it nearly impossible for weak companies to hide anymore. We have third-party reviews, site performance metrics, mobile experience indicators. All these signals they strip away the facade.
Which brings us to the ultimate irony, Chip. The web evolved specifically to expose the fakes. But in doing so, it inadvertently created this new, highly technical trap for the legitimate players.
Right. It's like in the 90s, the internet was like putting on an oversized suit with shoulder pads to look imposing. But today, it's like showing up to a black tie gala in stained sweatpants. You might be the smartest person in the room, but your presentation is doing you a massive disservice.
That is a perfect analogy. If you are a legacy company today, your real-world reputation is no longer enough to insulate you from a poor digital presence.
If a company has a stellar real-world reputation, they've been the top structural engineering firm in the state for 40 years. Why does a clunky website actually matter? You would think the truth of their excellence, their referrals, their community presence, wouldn't that just override a bad digital first impression?
Well, a warm referral is still gold, unquestionably. But it no longer carries the entire buyer's journey like it used to.
Yeah.
A referral used to be the end of the evaluation process, but now it is literally just the beginning.
Okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture of modern buyer psychology, we have to look at the immediate next step. Chip, if a trusted colleague gives you a glowing recommendation for a B2B service provider, what is the literal first action you take?
Oh, I immediately pull out my phone and Google them. I want to see their work. I want to see if they look legit.
That is the crucial pivot. The trusted referral triggers a digital background check. And
Yeah.
it's not just prospective clients doing this. It's top-tier candidates looking for a job. It's potential investors.
Yeah.
It is even artificial intelligence platforms crawling the web to interpret your authority for large language models. They hit your site, and they are forming a concrete opinion before a human representative ever gained to speak to them.
So if they hit a site that looks dated, or the navigation structure is this confusing maze, cognitive dissonance just sets in immediately. They hear you are the best, but their eyes are telling them you're stuck in 2014.
And that dissonance actively weakens your position. Your digital presence is no longer just a passive brochure supporting your reputation in the background. It's an active mechanism that either validates your real-world authority or, honestly, quietly sabotages it.
Wow.
Like if the site takes 10 seconds to load on a smartphone, the prospect subconsciously wonders, are they really the best? Or are they falling behind the times?
In understanding that this actively hurts the bottom line, I mean, the natural reaction for most business leaders is panic, right? They call an emergency meeting and say, our website is driving people away, the design is ugly, we just need to blow it up and start over with a fresh coat of paint.
Right.
But let me play devil's advocate again. If the website is visually driving people away, isn't design the obvious culprit? Like, why overcomplicate the solution?
I get why people think that. Focusing purely on design is the most common reaction, but it is almost always a massive strategic error. Design is merely the symptom of deeper architectural failures.
Explain that a bit more.
Think of your digital presence like a high-end restaurant. Slapping a beautiful new design on a fundamentally broken website is like building a gorgeous modern dining room, but completely ignoring the fact that the kitchen has no stoves, the plumbing is backing up, and the waiters don't even have menus.
Okay, yeah, so it looks stunning when the customer walks in, but they still can't actually order a meal.
Exactly. The aesthetic is there, but the utility is broken.
So what are the actual missing stoves and broken pipes in this scenario? What are the foundational cracks we're actually talking about here?
Well, the underlying issues are almost always structural and strategic. For instance, consider how a business evolves over a decade. They add new services, they pivot their positioning, they target higher-tier clients, but their website architecture stays frozen in time.
Oh, yeah.
The new content gets buried. A company might produce brilliant thought leadership, but if a user has to click through 5 confusing nested menus just to find a white paper, that expertise might as well not exist.
I see this constantly with B2B companies. You finally navigate to the Our Services page, and it reads like a dry technical manual. It lists exactly what they do, but it completely fails to explain why it matters to the specific pain points of the buyer.
That is a primary friction point. And another massive invisible roadblock is technical site health. You could be famous in your physical industry, but completely invisible on Google because of underlying technical errors.
Like what?
We are talking about slow load speeds, broken mobile usability, indexing errors. What digital underrepresentation really exposes is that a company's search engine optimization, their user experience, their content, and their design are all operating in completely isolated silos. The designers aren't talking to the SEO strategists.
And neither of them is talking to the content team. Well, you can actually see the tangible damage of these isolated silos when you look at legacy professional services. Our newly published case study outlines 2 distinct organizations that shared this exact underlying problem.
Oh, this is a great example.
Take a firm like Vracas CPAs and Advisors. This is a classic relationship-driven firm with a kind of stellar reputation you spend decades earning.
But they hit a wall. In the professional services world, you were in a constant, aggressive fight for top talent. They needed their digital footprint to actively support both business development and recruiting.
And their solution wasn't just, hey, let's hire a graphic designer to make the logo pop. Our team went deep into their infrastructure.
Right.
We implemented a better internal content management system, the actual software the team uses to update the site, so the firm could seamlessly publish thought leadership without needing to call an IT guy for every minor typo.
And they built structural SEO support to ensure that content actually ranked on search engines. By fixing the foundation, they aligned their digital reality with their physical reality.
And this is where the results start to matter. Because for Vracas, the redesign wasn't just about making the firm look more modern.
Right. It gave them a more scalable digital platform, but it also strengthened their visibility in organic search.
Since launch, Vracas saw an 88% increase in organic search impressions.
Their average search ranking position improved by 73%.
Organic traffic increased 13%.
New users increased 13%.
And organic search clicks were up 8%.
So again, this wasn't just a prettier website. It was a stronger foundation that helped more of the right people find them, understand them, and engage with them.
And their chief operating officer, Sandy McGee, summed it up perfectly. She said the results they've seen from both lead generation and recruiting have been staggering.
Which is important because that connects the website to real business outcomes, not just marketing vanity metrics.
Exactly. And then the more technical example is their sister company, Veracruz Blum Computer Consulting.
Yes, VBCC. They had 30 years of deep industry experience, yet newer competitors with a fraction of that expertise were consistently beating them in digital visibility.
And this is where the mechanics get truly fascinating. The overhaul our team did for VBCC was intensely technical. We didn't just change the colors, we rebuilt the back-end infrastructure, modernized the mobile user experience, and completely revamped the on-site technical SEO.
Right.
Nova, here's the statistic from our team's experience that genuinely blew my mind. Before the fix, VBCC's site health score was sitting at a dismal 65%. It was riddled with 1,123 technical errors.
Let's pause on that because 1,123 technical errors sounds abstract to a lot of business leaders. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, break that down for us.
We aren't just talking about typos here. We are talking about broken links leading to dead ends. We are talking about missing schema markup, which is the code that helps search engines understand what a page is actually about. We are talking about render blocking JavaScript.
Okay, render blocking JavaScript. Let's translate that for everyone. That's essentially when a website's code forces a user's phone to freeze up while it tries to load some massive unnecessary file in the background, right?
Precisely. To a human, the site just feels annoyingly slow. But to a search engine crawler like Googlebot, those errors are massive red flags.
Oh, sure.
A site health score is an aggregate metric used by SEO auditing tools to determine how easily a search engine can crawl and understand your site. If Google hits hundreds of dead ends or massive load delays, it assumes your digital infrastructure is unreliable, and it simply stops ranking you.
So human eyes might just see a slightly older website, but the machines that govern the internet see a condemned building.
And that is why the post-overhaul numbers are so critical. By having Team Trevera rebuild that infrastructure, VBCC's site health skyrocketed to a perfect 100% in the first 6 months of 2024.
Wow.
They went from over 1,000 errors to zero errors.
And Nova, this is where the proof is really in the digital pudding.
Exactly. Because a better website is nice, but a better performing website is what actually matters.
Right. And with VBCC, the improvements weren't just cosmetic. In the first 6 months of 2024, sessions increased by 459%.
Total users were up 399%.
New users jumped 578%.
And engagement rate improved by 12%.
So this wasn't just, hey, the site looks newer now.
No, this was a website becoming easier to find, easier to use, easier to understand, and more effective at bringing the right people into the conversation.
And when you pair those traffic and engagement gains with the technical side, you can really see the difference between a redesign and a true digital transformation.
That's the key. The site wasn't just prettier, it was healthier, faster, clearer, and more aligned with how buyers actually search, evaluate, and take actions.
Which provides just a staggering lesson. A dominant reputation in the physical world absolutely does not default to strong performance in the digital one. You cannot coast on legacy.
No, you really can't. You have to actively build and maintain the digital infrastructure that projects that legacy.
We're going to take a quick break right here, but when we come back, we'll dive into what Trevera's approach actually solves and how to know if this silent killer is happening to you right now.
Chip, it's hard to believe, but we're already halfway through the year.
I know. And while a lot of organizations are shifting into summer mode, the reality is that fourth quarter is right around the corner.
And for many businesses, Q4 isn't just another quarter. It's the quarter that determines whether annual goals are met or missed.
Exactly. The challenge is that the company's still scrambling to fix websites, clean up content, improve visibility, or streamline marketing processes in October are already behind.
That's why smart organizations use the summer months to prepare. They strengthen their foundation while there's still time to make an impact this year.
Because momentum built in July and August often shows up in revenue conversations by November and December.
And when budget discussions for next year begin, it's a lot easier to make your case when you're already finishing strong.
Visit Trevera.com and discover how 30 years of digital marketing experience can help you build momentum now and carry it into the future.
Trevera, helping businesses get ahead and stay ahead.
Welcome back to Trevera's AI Deep Dive. Now back to our conversation with Chip and Nova.
All right, welcome back. So Nova, before the break, we were talking about this need to actively build infrastructure. But wait, if I am a company with a massive marketing budget, why can't I just brute force my way around a bad website?
What do you mean?
Like, why can't I just throw tens of thousands of dollars at paid search and Google ads to guarantee I show up at the top, regardless of my site's technical errors?
Oh, that is exactly what a fragmented approach looks like. And honestly, Chip, it is a fantastic way to set money on fire.
Just burning it, huh?
Literally burning it. If you dump a massive budget into a highly optimized paid search campaign, you will get clicks. But if those expensive ads point to landing pages that load in a crawl on mobile or possess confusing navigation, the user bounces immediately.
So you paid for them to walk into the restaurant, but the kitchen is still broken.
Exactly that. Furthermore, advertising platforms like Google actively penalize you for this. They assign your ads a quality score based on the user experience of the landing page.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. If your site is technically broken or the content isn't relevant, your quality score plummets, meaning you actually have to pay significantly more per click just to maintain your ad position.
Wow, okay, here's where it gets really interesting. This proves why companies must shift from a disjointed project mindset to a unified ecosystem mindset. Our blog lists out the elements that must work in tandem.
Right.
You need your overall strategy, your messaging, and your user experience fully aligned. Those connect to your content and search visibility. Then you need the technical health to support it, the analytics to measure it, and an internal content management system that your team can actually use without pulling their hair out.
And when these elements stop acting as isolated checkboxes and begin communicating with each other, the website transforms. It stops being a sunk marketing cost, just a frustrating digital paperweight, and it becomes active growth infrastructure.
Yeah.
It operates as an engine for the business, generating qualified interest while you sleep.
But the truly insidious part of digital underrepresentation is that it rarely announces itself as a 5-alarm fire.
Right.
Like no alarm bells ring in the office when your site health drops to 65%.
No, not at all.
So if you are listening to this right now, how do you diagnose your own business? Let's walk through the quiet, creeping symptoms that indicate your digital ecosystem is failing your real-world reputation.
Definitely. The most obvious symptom usually comes from looking outward. Look at your competitors. If you know factually that their product, service, or expertise is vastly inferior to yours, yet they're consistently looking more capable online and intercepting your market share, that is your primary red flag.
That has to be so infuriating for a business owner, knowing you're better but looking worse.
It really is.
But the next sign is a bit more internal, hidden in the analytics. You might log in and see that traffic exists, like people are visiting the site, but those visits are completely hollow. They aren't translating into meaningful leads, specialized inquiries, or job applications. You have an audience, but absolutely zero engagement.
Because the friction is just too high. And speaking of friction, the third symptom is entirely operational. You need to ask yourself this. Does your internal marketing team have to submit an IT ticket just to fix a typo on an executive's bio page?
Oh, the IT bottleneck.
Yes. If your digital presence is locked behind a technical bottleneck where basic content updates require a developer's intervention, your ecosystem is fundamentally broken. You cannot be agile if every update requires a week of lead time.
That IT bottleneck is such a common trap. And it leads to the fourth symptom, which is the slow decay of your recruitment pipeline. Think about your careers section.
Right.
If you operate a dynamic, highly collaborative company culture, but your careers page is just a sterile, text-heavy, bulleted list of job requirements that looks like it was coded in 2018, you're actively driving top talent into the arms of competitors who know how to tell a compelling digital story.
And this all culminates in the final symptom, your reporting. When you review your marketing analytics, you might see basic activity, page views, time on site, bounce rates. But if you cannot draw a clear, straight line between the activity on your website and actual revenue or business progress, the system is failing.
And the real danger here is the slow normalization of these small frustrations. You just get used to the site, not generating leads. Your sales team gets used to apologizing for the clunky navigation when they send a link to a prospect. It just becomes the status quo.
Yeah, you have to step back and ask a much harder question. Is this digital ecosystem accurately reflecting the credibility we have spent years or even decades building?
So what does this all mean for you? I think the ultimate takeaway here is actually incredibly encouraging. If you recognize your company in these symptoms, if you realize you are wearing the digital sweatpants, take a deep breath.
Yep.
Because unlocking your next stage of growth likely does not require you to reinvent your entire business model. You don't have to become a fundamentally different company.
No, you simply need to remove the friction. You need to make the exceptional company you already are easier to find, easier to understand, and easier to trust in a digital environment.
Make sure you're ready for that critical first impression for potential customers.
And employees.
And the indexing spiders from Google.
And Bing. And ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and the other AI search tools.
It's about achieving total alignment between who you are in the physical world and how the internet interprets you.
And this is exactly what we do. Putting this expertise to use for your digital marketing and your operations is how you fix the core architecture of your business. Team Trivera can help you close that structural gap so your website actually works as hard as your team does.
Well said, Nova. Okay, that's it for this week's episode. If you found this helpful, the link to our original newly published case study is right there in the show notes. Also, please be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Leave us a review and share this episode with anyone you know who might be dealing with a clunky website.
Thanks so much for listening to the Trivera Deep Dive podcast. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for joining us on Trivera's AI Deep Dive with Chip and Nova. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find more and stay up to date with new episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, or find them on our website and our social media channels. And don't forget to visit us at Trivera.com to learn how we can help take your marketing to the next level. Ready to talk? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.